her telling him to pack only enough for 2 weeks, he'd shoved everything he could fit into every crevice of her old Subaru. But his erroneous assumption had been so transformative that she'd simply kept her mouth shut. She just couldn't bear to rain on his happy parade. Oh, she attempted to dissuade him a few times. She'd warned him that the beach cottage was just a summer place that would be freezing cold in winter. But Jackson, ever the online researcher, insisted they could weatherize it themselves. "And I can chop firewood and fix things," he'd offered. Every obstacle she tossed his way was soundly batted back with stubborn, youthful optimism. Even when she described the house as a tiny, run-down shack, probably dilapidated, rodent-infested, and rotting, he totally dismissed her concerns. And as she'd stuffed the last box into the back of the Subaru, she'd noticed Edward's old toolbox wedged in a corner. Wendy glanced at her rearview mirror to see the stacked boxes and bags filling the back of her car. Unsure of what they'd find in the neglected cabin, she'd packed everything but the kitchen sink. And since her boss had generously granted her additional vacation time, they would be in Seaside for a while, almost until Christmas. Of course, her packing and preparations had simply bolstered Jackson's confidence that they were gone for good, and with each passing mile, his excitement and optimism had grown. While it made him a congenial traveling companion, it made her increasingly uneasy. She really needed to get him to understand their real purpose. In his enthusiasm, Jackson had gone online, searching all he could find about Seaside and the Maine coast. Now he was convinced that he would learn to fish and sail, and to surf next summer. The more he'd shared his hopeful dreams, the harder it became to disclose the whole truth. She hinted when she got the chance, but how could she admit that the real purpose of this trip was to spend a few weeks fixing up the beach cottage, then sell it? It would crush him. Wendy didn't know the real value of Papa's beach cottage, but even if it was a dilapidated wreck, which was possible, she felt certain the beachside location would be enough to wipe out the medical bills that insurance didn't cover and provide a small safety net for her and Jackson. If she was lucky, it might even pay off their student loans and seed a small college fund for Jackson. She was probably overly optimistic, but no matter what, it would help. She never discussed finances with Jackson, but Edward's battle with cancer had left her deep in debt. Even after selling their home, which had little equity, and moving to an affordable apartment, she'd been unable to climb out. Edward hadn't worked long enough before getting sick to have much in Social Security benefits, certainly not enough to support them. So inheriting Papa's sea cottage felt like a gift from God, just what they needed to get back on their feet. She was determined, no matter how much Jackson loved it and protested, the cottage must be sold. Jackson suddenly sat up, giving her a start. "Are we there yet?" He chuckled at his own gaffe. "Sorry, Mom. You warned me not to say that again." "Well, as it turns out, we passed the Maine state line around noon and—" Jackson let out a happy whoop. "You should have woken me up. How much longer till Seaside?" "I really hope to get there before dark. Why don't you check the GPS and tell me our ETA?" She knew how Jackson liked acronyms. Within seconds, he reported that they would arrive at their destination in 3 hours and 7 minutes. "According to my calculations, that will be about 3:54, he declared, "unless we stop." "Well, I do need a pit stop, and we need gas. I don't think Seaside even has a gas station," she told him. "And I'm kind of hungry. We'll grab a quick bite and eat it in the car to save time." "Sunset is supposed to be at 4:09, he told her. "That's because Maine is so far north. The shortened daylight time might take some getting used to, but I heard the long summer days make up for it. Do you know that the astronomical twilight lasts until almost 11 o'clock in late June? That'll be so cool." "I don't know what an astronomical twilight is, but I do remember very late summer evenings." She grimaced to think of how he'd never get to experience that. "Did you go to Seaside every summer as a kid?" he asked with interest. "Every summer I can remember. Well, until I was 17.